the music for Homeroom Bell. I pledge allegiance. Hang on. Let's learn our manners. To be free in this country, I should certainly have the decency to show some respect and remove the cover from my head. Right hand over the chest. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. I think it's very important for anybody watching this to understand that I recognize the freedom that was bestowed upon my life to find my way. And anybody that may know me personally or think they do, well, then some might say that Corey didn't have an easy life. But here we are at the School of COR. So, without further ado, I need to display and bring to you School of COR for the heathens and anybody who wants to just hang out with a nut job like myself who's cracked a few nuts, like this one, the Seed of Life. The last video I did, I talked about how the Seed of Life is comprised of 7 circles. First circle is 360 degrees with a digital root of 3 plus 6 plus 0 equals 9, so the digital root is 9. If you can read this, 2 times 360 is 720 when you have 2 circles. 7 plus 2 plus 0 is 9. The purpose for making this video is to extrapolate further from where we were last time when I showed this table that I hope you took the time to study for yourself to see how this ether of the 369 has developed, where you have an oscillating polarity of 369 from the 3, and from the 6 the digital roots will go 369 in the opposite direction, while the digital roots of the Seed of Life itself, which is comprised of 7 times 360 degrees equals 2520 degrees, 2 plus 5 plus 2 plus 0 equals 9. This piqued my curiosity when I was in a place in life where I had the time to really dive deep into numbers. It's one of the 5 books in the Pentateuch, or the Torah, as I believe it's called, the first 5 books of the Old Testament, where it was found important enough to name one of the books Numbers. So this, however, is an ancient Egyptian or Asian symbol that we recognize today as the Seed of Life. Again, it's comprised of 2520 degrees. We've listened to Tesla saying if we knew the magnificence of the 369, we would understand the universe. Who you haven't heard of is Ramanujan, who I discovered for myself after developing this chart, because I wanted to see if it had been done before, which it was not. So Ramanujan has discovered all the rules that belong to 252. However, he did not break down, he was so close, the 2520, which was the Seed of Life. This is a symbol that has been beckoning the answers to so many questions, where I believe this table helps to extrapolate that. However, you have to come to the belief that this is natural. This is the natural order of the universe. So there are only 9 numbers recognized. We have 7 days of the week, that go on forever, but there has to be something greater than forever to govern it, so we come to 9, the divine. Well, when God comes to a divine understanding of itself and wants to magnify some things or decimate some things, he hired an operative, and it became named as Zero. These discoveries were made by man, but it was through the logos, or Christos, of God itself, himself, Jehovah. There is a nature. I'm sorry about that, but I'm kind of savage. I came up in concrete and truck driving, and that's kind of what piqued my interest with numbers in the first place. So you're going to get what you got. But I hope to teach you a whole lot of cool stuff. So, seeing that we stop at 9 and we can only multiply or decimate with zeros, so if we add a 0 to 9, we have 90. If we add 2 zeros, we have 900. But if we put a decimal 0.9 or 0.09, it becomes infinitely less. So the power of commas and periods or decimals come into place, and there's really an order of things where you see why the 0 is only an operative, because nothing must be something in God's order. If we go to a switch, we go from an open switch to a closed switch, from a 0 to a 1. So we're multiplied. We have 1 0, which gives us our first, what I like to call, divine number through the divine seed of life. So it's 2,520. When you divide it by 1 through 9, you come up with 1260 for 2. 1 plus 2 plus 6 plus 0 is 9. 8 plus 4 plus 0 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. 630 for 4. 6 plus 3 plus 0. Divided by 5. 504. 5 plus 4. For 6, you get to 420. 4 plus 2 plus 0 is 6. 7, you're to 360. 7 times the circles, so 7 times 360 gives you the 2520, but that's the division of it. 8 is area code for Syracuse, 315. 3 plus 1 plus 5 is 9. And 9 divided by 2520 comes out to 280, which I don't have very clear here. So 2 plus 8 plus 0 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1, so the digital root is 1. When we move over to the second seed, we have 5040, 5040. 5 plus 0 plus 4 plus 0 is 9 again. And when we break down, because you can look at the table on your own time, 5040 divided by 9 is 560. 5 plus 6 plus 0 is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. So from the first seed being a digital root of 1, the second seed is a digital root of 2. We go in that order until we get to 9, where we do not get to 0. It goes back to 1. 2 plus 8 plus 0 plus 0 divided by 25,200 will give you 10 again. 1 plus 0 is 1. It just continues on infinitely. However, when you look at the table, there also starts to point a trajectory. So with the first seed, it goes, I'm going to try to show you like this. If you take a screenshot, you can look at this. But when you get to the second chart, or the second seed rather, the trajectory milds out a little bit. And when you get to the third seed, it mellows out even more, where when you get to 1260, you're almost flat with the trajectory. That is in a pure nature of math in its own realm. So this is pure mathematics, and it has to be this way. So you have your decimals and you can figure out your metrics. However, the polarity is purposeful. So the way you're made, you operate, we're going to round here, you operate at 99 degrees Fahrenheit. 9 plus 9 is 18, 1 plus 8 is 9. So your temperature is governed by the 9. When you look at the Fahrenheit, that has been put in order to decipher between freezing and boiling. You have 32 degrees for freezing, 212 degrees for boiling. 212 minus 32 is 180. I'm going to tear off a piece of paper here and try to get this written down so we can take notes together. So bear with me here with one of the coolest teachers you're probably ever going to get to hang around, because I like to have fucking fun. Ooh, sorry for my language, but that's the kind of class you're in. One that doesn't have much class, but we got a whole ton of it. I get no respect. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We go back to school together. And to honor the great Val Kilmer, maybe you're with a real genius, so stick around, motherfucker. We were talking about temperature. 212 degrees, 32. We already know it's 180. 1 plus 8 equals 9. Digital root. It's the order of things. If I show you some angles, I'm going to go over here. That is a 90. However, that's this. If I want to show you this angle, just the flat line, this is 180 degrees. So a line is 180 degrees. It's called an open angle. Now, let's go to our adjectives we use to describe life, and we'll use masculine and feminine. So feminine, you have the 9, and masculine, you have the line. So you have the 180 breaking down to 9. Your whole governance that you understand, if you want to figure it out, looking at Kabbalah and everything, you're in a cube. We are in a cube, structure like hexagon, and you'll see it in snowflakes, you'll see it in beehives, you'll see it in crystals, and all types of other things that illustrate through the creator himself that this is the order. It's not man-made, it's really divine. And so again, I hope this video has captivated enough attention to impact and get you in the realm of a place where you may have an epiphany Perhaps you're an electrical engineer or student or mechanical engineer, or you're a youngster studying math and want to know everything you can to be the best you can at what you do, or you design engines for airplanes or rocket ships. Whatever your dreams may become, where math is important. It's from the order of God. It's from the order of science. If you want to follow the science, people, if you follow some things into the Bible, you might find something called omniscience, one science, like a universe. But that's neither here nor there, because I'm more focused on how it adds up. And maybe I'm not seeing something. You could enlighten me that this doesn't all point to the hand of the Creator who created time, where this can be used to create seconds. You have 60 minutes times 60 seconds in an hour, 3,600 seconds in an hour. 3 plus 6 plus 0 plus 0 is 9. We'll go back and forth all day. I mean, we could count the seconds and break down the digital root for a leap year. 4 years plus a day. We'll go on and on. You're going to keep coming back to this. This was prophesied by the Jehovah's Witnesses that kind of piqued my interest to check out 2,520. The first perfect number I found, which is a seed number also, is 63,000. I think that was my first one. But when I had heard of this prophecy and I saw that the digital root was 9, I had to check it out. So there's definitely something prophetic about the 2,520 number, about the coming of Christ, or whatever that may mean. I would like to consider myself a servant of the Lord, and so I hold what I'm doing with very high regard. I would put my life on it. Here is my life, speaking before you all. So I hope you take this with great respect to the power it has to govern yourselves, to take better care of yourself. God's holy temple is right here, and there's a shape of it. So decorate your temple well, and shape it how you will. You can make a diamond, and if it's a story for another time, but I've been to some bad, dark places, Darth Vader, and had to pull out the lightsaber against him and all that stuff to, live to see today, to share this with you. Well, guess what? I made it through that, and I'm sharing this with you. So wherever you're at in life, I'm a fuck up. And this is for everyone else. Who knows what brings us out here? To know is to know that we don't know. But while we're here, it's not about the material. It's about, you're made in the image of God, so we like to live good. Well, maybe this might help usher in the next generation where the Jetsons fit in, and we have time to get out and exercise the body, which is essential. You got to exercise those demons so you can do cool shit like this. Exercise, eat healthy, read books. Stories are great, but they're just stories. The truth is the truth. And I'm telling you, from a scholar to another, and I'm not registered as a scholar, but you hear what I'm saying. All curse words aside, you can see I've done some homework. And so I'm not sitting high up here, but I'm sitting with this pretty well. You can't fight it. I would accept any challengers to this, because it would give me food for thought and another problem to solve. But once this has been solved, I'm pretty content, and life has become a bit more musical, a bit more poetic, and so carry on the torch that sparks imagination, inspiration, and helps you develop your seed into a beautiful flower or lotus, however you may see, or unfold the box into the cross, and you'll see yourself nailed to it because you lived it. Okay, forgive it all. Now you see that, if you came this way, maybe you need to give away a couple seeds and come back a few seeds. You know what I mean? Lighten the load to come back. You're all in line. It all meshes, because everything really is connected. I'm happy making this video. I got into temperature. I did not get into geometry too much. But I can talk about some basic shapes that is going to get you there, because it's kind of, when you get into Metatron's cube, you can look that up, from Hermes Trismegistus, like the founder of Kabbalah, all that stuff. It's real simple stuff. You take a triangle. A perfect triangle is 60-degree angles at times 3. 6 times 6 is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. Drop to 0. Square. 4 times 90 is 360. Same as a circle. That's why you square the circle, like you see that Leonardo da Vinci stuff. All awesome stuff. The pentagon is, let's see, I want to say 360 and 180. $360. 540. Okay? 540, and your hexagon is 720. 540, 5 plus 4 plus 0, 9. 720, 7 plus 2 plus 0 plus equals 9. The hexagon, 720. 72. In Judaism, you'll hear about the 72 names of God. How this correlates, I'm going to assume that those 72 names are higher than us. I don't know. I might have heard about Hashem and Adonai, and heard about Valhalla and heaven and reincarnation. I can entertain a lot of stuff with my imagination. I just come to the conclusion that to respect God is to respect yourself, and helping to further the progress of humanity for God's desire. So, by all equations, there's always going to be conflict, problems that arise that need to be solved. And while the world is at large, as long as it is, as long as the world is present in the universe, this applies to creating solutions for future problems. This is going to conclude episode 1 of School of COR. I hope I gave you a big old bowl of information to munch on. And have a wonderful today. Whenever you're watching this, you watch it again, have another wonderful today. That concludes this.